Shanti. Welcome everyone. Good morning. Hope you can hear me okay.
Yes, sister, we can hear you.
Okay, wonderful. It's just a lovely Sunday morning. Always to start the week like that. So we'll discuss a little bit about that we read. So 24th of March, 1985. The title so wonderful, if not now, then never. Nothing that's something that really perhaps is important for all of us, but it really is something I know is very, very important for me. The importance of time. Knowing where I stand, how I move forward in life, when I do things. So I think when Baba brings about the concept of time, we all do things. It's the matter of doing things timely and doing them when they are required. And also, I think we get extra power when we perhaps do it suddenly. You know, Baba says, "Achanak wala." So when you're in a different zone, sometimes it's easy to do things when you're fresh and you're awake, and you've already started your day and you're running around, and anyone can do that. You've taken your time, you're ready. But sometimes if you're tired and you're in bed, and that time to wake up at 2, it takes extra effort. So that extra effort really feel it increases so much of our powers. Just doing something at the right time when you're not being helped by the circumstances, when you're not being helped by the surroundings or people around you, that's when we develop our powers. That's when our qualities emerge. That's how we can practice powers. So doing things at a rightly time. And of course, I think we know the concept of time as well. And I was thinking that and Baba often says there are two, if I may put it like that, there's two transformations going on in a way. Not two transformations, but let's say there's one that's, there's the world transformation. So time is going on, time is going on and having its own transformation. So Baba's transforming the world. Baba is looking after what he needs to do to make sure that the world is has moved on from Kali Yuga, and he's on that journey. And then there's my individual effort as well. So I am also making an effort. So both of these are going on congruently, along with each other. They both help each other. So the more I change, the more I develop, the more the world changes. And again, with the more the world changes, the more the vibrations impact me. But I think the point of us special souls, Brahmin souls, and especially within the cream of the crop within Brahmins as well, the ones that do the things before the time requires it. Before anyone's gonna, if you've got a calamity on your head, anyone's gonna get up and do the steps that are needed. The sense of emergency will kick in, the cortisol will kick in. There will be something that, you will be kind of, there are circumstances that make you do stuff, but the speciality of us and speciality of having God as my teacher, Baba teaching me, Baba training me every day, is that he gets me trained before time. So I have that sense of confidence as well, and also a sense of, and also I get the length of time to cover the syllabus a bit more. And I'm not dependent again. So Baba wants us to be devtas. He wants us to be angels. He wants us to be self-sovereigns. So if I'm dependent, even if it's a circumstance, even if it's, the time of what's going on, and that power kicks in, that is very good, but it's still a dependency. I've waited for a circumstance to come, impact my life, then I've kicked into the mode of the whatever was needed in my life. Whereas Baba says, the point of everyday Murli is that these are the things we need to do. This is how you can do it. So you practice it that day. that day we have practiced that today is Murli. I'm not waiting. So, for example, there might be a point on Sahan Shakti, on being able to tolerate. And today I've had no circumstances that need me to have that. But still, how can I accumulate and how can I improve that power? That is my creative thinking. That is how I can go ahead fast. That is intense effort that I'm not waiting for time to tell me. I have taken today's lesson from Baba. So Baba has said, today do this, 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 this. So today's Murli has inspired me. It has given me a few things that I need to do. So I have worked on those and I have not waited for the circumstances that have forced me for that power to kick in. So if I take every Murli every day as my training, so I'm not dependent on time. I'm not dependent on, and that is a great, great power and a great virtue to have. And that is a speciality of all of us Brahmins that the world really does not get. They are dependent on the drama. They'll come when it's time, when it's their time. They will come when it's they'll come according to whenever they kind of fit in and when the circumstances are ready. When Dharni Baba says when everything is ready, they will go. They'll have fun when there's a party. They'll be sad when something bad has happened. So they are very much communal in the sense, communal also, but also very dependent on what's happening around the world. Whereas us, Baba has given us the option, he's given us the power, he's given us, he says, I've given you the pen, write whatever you want, however you want. But for that, I have to be responsible. I have to be responsible towards myself. I have to be I have to respect myself and love myself and have confidence in myself in a way as well that yes, I can do it and I want to do it. Now, I'm not going to wait for something to happen so I can become that. If Baba today, again, the same example, he said, tolerance power is very important, Sahan Shakti. And I've got no circumstances, I've got a pleasant day today, nothing has happened. So how can I improve that? Can I use, there's always three, Baba says there's Mansa, Vacha, Karmana. So no Karmana has come that has forced me to use that power. Maybe there was nothing in Vacha that I needed to do, but Mansa is always, always, always there. I can bring that power, I can use that power from Baba and then give it to everyone. And then I can see how I can apply it. So being creative and creating my own life. And time is such a wonderful thing where you go, well, this is, and we all know it, but sometimes it kicks in, you go, wow, this is the only time I'll get to create whatever I want. Rest of the 5,000 years, and then I use that point many a times throughout my day. When sometimes you have life options to make, should I do this, shouldn't I do that? And I tend to say a lot about this a lot to other people as well, that you've got 5,000 years to do all of this. Sometimes a relationship you're very close in, or there's a art you want to explore, or there is a profession you want to do, because there is something in your heart that you want to fulfill. That's why we sometimes get distracted from our main goal of looking at Baba, or focusing on my Purusha, that there are other things in my heart that I want to fulfill. So being honest, yes, there are other things that my heart wants to do. I want to play with my children. I want to look after a family. I want to go explore nature. If you can, while you can doing that, you can remember Baba. Nothing like it. Perfect. But if you feel like there's something that's in your heart taking you a little bit away from Baba, and I always often remind myself, well, I've got 5,000 years to do all of that. 5,000 years Baba's given me. So, not everyone gets that because they don't want to get that. They are happy just living the life that they want. So I get the choice. Do I want to use the 5,000 years? Do I want to live the 5,000 years and do whatever I want? But now is the time I get to create that. What is it that I want to create? How is it that I want to live my life? What experiences do I want to have? And experiences come in all sorts of, sometimes it's about relationships, but ultimately everything boils down to what emotion do I want to experience? What feelings do I want to share with everyone? What pulls my heart. Because if you look at anything, you know, Baba often says, or even in the Murli we're discussing, Baba referred to Maya. When you don't really, I was talking about instant donation, about the concept of time, that when you let Maya in, that's when leakage starts. Because you've let Maya in. Maya means what? You know, there's something that I'm more interested in. There's something that I'm more attracted in. That's taking me away from my original stage, because I am a little bit short-sighted. You know, I look at my life just as what my body, you know, the present birth. I know, you know, okay, I'm this years old, I have this body, I live in this world, you know, and you know what the world says: you need a house, you need children, you need family, you need this, you need a job, but of course you need money. And even Brahmins will say, you know, most, of course you need a job, of course you need money. But if you've never even I'm not saying physically, but emotionally, if you've never let these things go and you've held on to them, they will stop other experiences from coming. You know, the wonderful word Ati Indriya Sukh, which is super sensuous joy. So if you're still holding on to sensuous joy, which, you know, for most Brahmins, it's food. No, there's nothing wrong with food. We like to have good Brahma Bhojan. But if you get constantly enjoying the sensual pleasure, you know, you're enjoying eating, you're constantly thinking about eating, you know, and a lot of us today have, you know, moved from the samosas and the pakoras to healthy eating, because now they think that's right here. So they're constantly thinking about how to make their food healthier, how to have more sprouts, how to have more fresh, more vegetables. But it's still the same thing. You're still getting pleasure, maybe, you know, from a healthy body. So it's still sensual pleasure. You still want, you know, your body to be, of course, it needs to be healthy. But I hope you're getting the point I'm trying to make, is that I'm my pleasure, my joy, my you know, my eternal things that are always here, my, you know, sukh, shanti, prem, anand, all of that's already here, but I'm trying to gain it from external sources. I want that. If I have a healthy body, I'll be happy. If I have good relationships, I'll be that. So I'm trying to gain it from external relationships or external circumstances. So I am adjusting my life in a way and not realizing that I sometimes end up wasting resources, and I end up putting my eggs in the wrong basket, you know, so to say. Of course, I need a healthy body. Of course, I need to look after my body, but I need to have a nice balance. I cannot be dependent on having a good body and then, because, so many opinions out there, but you know, the healthiest of, even, I don't know what, we were having a chat yesterday about something, and someone said, oh, if you have that much, you know, this, you look just looking for a heart attack, and then someone else commented, yeah, well, you can be completely healthy and still get a heart attack. I mean, there are so many stories now, you know, marathon runners and vegans and people that have never smoked and just, you know, 30, 40 years old and constantly instantly just die. I mean, that's not to make a comment on any of that, but the point is anything can happen. And it's not, again, to be pessimistic, but to more be realistic that, you know, it's end of Kali. So I have to be very aware of the time I'm in. Why am I a Brahmin? Why did I choose this wonderful journey? I can't distract myself by just giving Kalyugi answers. Oh, of course, I need to look after my body. But no, I have to look after, I need money, I have to do this. Emotionally, I have to let that go. Do the job you want to, eat good food, choose good food, but don't get stuck in it. You know, if something doesn't happen, don't get stuck in it. Don't think that I need to fix this and put all my emotions and all my energy in that. That's, you know, a subtle way Maya leaks in. I think for most Brahmins, because we don't, you know, we don't do anything wrong, we don't have any bad habits. You probably, throughout the kalpa, we haven't really had much interest. But this is how, you know, for Brahmins, through good things, how we distract ourselves from my real aim. Am I still connected? Okay. Sorry, something happened there. So again, bringing the sense of urgency. And there was a wonderful line that in the Murli, I don't know why, like you know it already, but when I read it again, it kind of really hit me very strongly. I mean, we all know we're number wise, but then there was a line in the Murli where Baba was talking about Krishna, the number one soul, and then he spoke about Mama, the number two soul, and we've just had, a couple of months ago was June. So I don't know how much 'cause we really had a lovely bhantis in the center, and we did a lot of churning about Mama. We read her books, her experiences, her life story, which is wonderful, and it's so powerful. Mom, you can't really match the level of Mama. And a couple of days ago there was a family function, so there was I think they do like Mata Ki Chauki or something, which I haven't really ever been to, but I went because she was a close friend, and I just realized how much bhakti is done for Mama. They don't know who they are praying to, but there was so much love, there was devotion, there was this, and so much pomp, and which happened. So Mama is so wonderful. But then in the Murli, Baba was saying the praise, the point Baba was bringing about the time, linking it to time, was the jhatku, the instant donation. When something needs to be done, you do it the second it needs to be done. And Baba, Brahma Baba, was number one at that. He did not have a single thought. If someone wants to be inspired in their Brahmin life, you read Brahma Baba's story and you go, the circumstances he had, I don't think any of us, and I can probably say that, on a blanket level, that any of us will go through what Brahma Baba went through. The circumstances he had, the way he had to leave his business and, have not having to, not negotiating, not thinking, he had no idea. It was God who was, had to figure everything out. But for him, the moment he heard it, he did it. The moment he heard it, he did it. The moment he was told, he just did it. The moment he was told it, just so much interest in improving himself, so much interest. And it was just like instant, instant, instant. So Baba said, even Krishna, Brahma Baba, he's remembered, all four stages of his life. The first being in the cradle, you rock Krishna. We just had Krishna Jayanti. You rock him, and then there's the part when he's playing with Radhe. So that's when Radhe kicks in. She's never rocked in a cradle. Her role kind of comes in because she's number two. Even being the greatest and the greatest and the greatest, how much difference that there is, something in the energy and something in how they've given to the world. Mama's given so much. And again, because I've got so much love and so much awe of Mama that I couldn't, that line really hit me, that how much of a difference there is between Mama and Baba. Mama being so great, even through that, and so Baba is remembered even in his childhood as like the small baby. Where, Radhe is born somewhere as well, maybe a couple of years earlier or later, I'm not sure. But her memory, when we, on devotion, we start remembering her when she's playing with Krishna. So that's when her role kicks in Bhakti Marg. And then, later Krishna plays with Gops and the Gopis, and then Radhe is kind of like, she's there, but she's one of the gopis, most special one, but she's still just one of the gopis. And then the fourth stage, Brahma Baba is remembered, is the Narayan as well, the perfection, the coronation, when, the Diwali, so to say, the coronation happens. So what a wonderful reminder, I suppose, and a subtle way for Baba, for Baba to teach us, for Shiv Baba to teach us that how much, because the whole Murli Baba was talking about the concept of time and instant donation. We are very good. I think Brahmins are very good at, I'll say, giving excuses, because we, our buddhi develops, our intellect develops, our vivek's got so much more reasoning now that, we can reason out everything. And in a good way, we understand the depths of things. We read Murli every day. There's so much power. We do yoga. So that power and that intellect and that energy, sometimes we tend to use it to give excuses in a way. And that sort of takes us away from this, would I say Buddhu? Not Buddhus, but that, that innocence and that devotion and just that, not being able to see anything else, just being lost in God's love, just, being a Buddhu and just going, no, Baba, that is all I want, which all of us have experienced. All of us have experienced in times of, when there's been a great, some sort of a situation when you just can't, you just, even whether a child was ill or you were going through a horrible time, you just needed God in your life. You can't think beyond that. God is, that melting bit, what, how Meera was, she couldn't see anything else. Wherever she saw, she only saw that, being lost in love. Sometimes us being too clever, it takes us away from that. So we have to be very, very careful, being mindful of why we are given all this gyan and this yoga and these powers by Baba. That is not to lose my innocence. That is when Baba says, Bachpan ke din bulana dena. My time when I first came, just before I became the BK, I still had that urge, that yearning. Oh my God, I need to know God. That my heart was, it was yelling, it was screaming. That one drop of love, that one that one vision of God, that love that I had, somewhere I lose it. Somewhere I lose it along my journey. Maybe I become too busy, or I take things for granted, or I become too dependent on my brain. A few weeks ago, Sunday Murli Baba had said, is that between the brain and the heart, I always go for the heart. So reminding myself, this is the only time I don't need to use my brain. I don't need to use my brain. I just need to switch everything off. What Baba says, Haji, be a jhatku, be an instant donor. What Baba says, Haji, I don't need a brain. The moment I involve my thinking in it, this is how it should be. Oh, but I need that. Oh, but 3 days ago, Baba also said that. Today, now what Baba has said, use that. Use that, move forward. Every traffic control, today's Murli, learn today's, because there's a method to how Baba teaches us. There's a reason Baba has said each Murli every morning. There's a reason Baba has an evening class. There's a reason Baba has said, he lays out the way he thinks, the way he has done it. Do it. Try and follow Brahma Baba's life as much as I can. And there's so much benefit. And I think for me, the more I read about the greats, and there's so many, sometimes you do go in and, tomorrow is Badi Dadi Ka Din, Dadi Prakash Mani Ji's, she's, the people that I've met her say, she was a copy of Brahma Baba. Her life, all she wanted to do, because she'd seen Baba, or, whatever she had learned, you just try and copy them. We don't need, all these, again, I'll go back to whatever things I want to create. I've got my empire. I'll have chances for that throughout the 5,000 years. I'll be a king somewhere where I'll be building an empire. I can be whatever is in my heart. I can be an architect. I can be a sannyasi. I can have a household. 5,000 years is a very long time. It's a very long time. So there's not a thing that I will miss out on. But if I miss out on now, then I will miss out on a lot. So being aware of my time, being very, very cautious of what time I'm in. And these little things that the, Kalyu keeps telling us, this is important, that is important, keep it aside. You will not lose. And then that's Baba's guarantee. Baba always used to say, especially to Brahma Baba, but that applies to all of us, that, if Brahma Baba said something and you've done, and, nothing will go wrong, but just in case something goes wrong, Shiv Baba is responsible. So I often find, I like to apply that for myself as well. And I think that's a wonderful point, that if you, listen to today's Murli and you're applying, because, we only can do it according to our capacity. I don't know if there's such like a right thing than a wrong thing. So if I'm applying the Murli according to what I think is correct. And, someone else comes and says, oh, but this is absolutely incorrect. And it might be she might be a higher, more experienced Brahmin, if I may say, or a more, they might have, but this is wrong, and they might have 20 arguments, but Baba has said that, and they might, sometimes it happens a lot, because we are okay with non-BKs because we know that they're coming from a different range, so we're okay with, saying, no, I know what I'm doing, you don't worry. But if, like we feel like someone more senior, someone more experienced is saying that to me, sometimes we tend to go, get confused or maybe I should listen to them. Don't do that. I have to be clear what I want. I have to be clear. Baba's given me a direct link. Brahma Baba is always there in the middle because, that's his role, but he's equal to God. But no one else needs to be in my way. It's just about me and Baba. And that's not arrogance. I don't take it as arrogance. And again, that's something I can check inside my heart. Hopefully, I'm not being arrogant. But if you're clear what needs to be done, do not let this Kali Yugi world, because Kali Yuga has its own ways and systems, and we're very aware of that. But we are not in Kali Yuga. We are not in Kali Yuga. We don't need to worry about. I won't make a blanket statement because we all live differently. But as a BK, you have to live in Sangam Yuga. You have to follow the rules of Sangam Yuga. We have to follow what Brahma Baba did. If we want to be a good Brahmin, if we want to, seize the opportunity that Baba's given us. And that's the opportunity I really wanted. God made me a BK because I begged for it. I really, really, really wanted to meet Baba. I am that Meera who was yearning, who's, I will drink a glass of poison. I just need to meet God. That's me. But I need to remind myself that that was my yearning, that was my call. So how can I now waste my time in, Kalyugi things and getting distracted there? So I need to be aware of what I'm doing. I need to click in with my own journey. I need to remind myself what I'm doing. And that does sometimes take effort. And there was a point in the Murli as well when Baba was saying that, when children, Baba sees, but he doesn't see the present. He sees everyone. So, if we're seeing all each other now, we are seeing something. We are experiencing, okay, this person is like that, certain face, certain experiences. She's saying something, certain age, whatever, certain whatever. You are seeing all of that, and that's where we get stuck. That's a human tendency. We just get stuck. Whereas Bab Dada, he sees this, but he does not see it. Why? I've got weaknesses, I've got strengths, I've got egos. He sees what he doesn't see because he sees the three worlds. He likes to see the three, how this soul has been, how she is now, and how they will be in the future. He sees all of that. And that's something, if we start applying, the Trikaldashi, the seers of the three time, I think it will really bring into us the concept of who I am. So when I remember how much I loved, and I was loving living. Why do I choose? Not everybody chooses to live for 5,000 years. They're happy living up there. And that's a choice everyone makes. That's a choice each soul makes. So it's not a punishment when you say, oh, well, from probably Baba's perspective that, he's given you the opportunity to, you can experience all of that. But it's a choice, again, that each soul gets to make. That if do I want to be, how much experiences do I want to have in life, how early do I want to start my journey, what all do I want to experience. And fortunately, the earlier we want to come, you need power as well, of course. You need to be aware how much mileage you've got, how much petrol you're filling into yourself, that as well. And then the wonderful thing about that is Baba's made such a lovely world for us, Satyug, which we can start. The earlier we start, the more power I've got. I am in heaven, literally. So lucky us. Okay, so that's been about half hour. didn't realize how much I was enjoying yapping on. What should we, yeah, let someone tell me how else we need to move on. Do we discuss a little further? Do we open up discussion now, or how should we?
Yeah, sister, we can open up discussion.
Okay.
We can sit in Baba's remembrance for a minute and then we can open up.
Jevin, you have unmuted yourself. We are not able to hear you.
Shanti. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Harman Ben, this was such a wonderful Murli for me. The reason being, it speaks, it sometimes says, of course, as far as the Murli is concerned, Baba says, time is the essence. God himself, this is the confluence age. God himself has come down to teach me. And if God is here and he's available now, while in the past I only had my willpower, I now have his willpower combined with mine. So when I am in his remembrance and I decide with determination I want to do something, I'll make it within me, then of course everything would work it. And this is the time which comes only once in the cycle. And the most important intoxication point is he alone is the teacher. So let me not waste a single moment. Let me take my full inheritance. I know this is the intoxication which runs in us once when we get the knowledge. And this is also a slogan of Mama, as I also discussed earlier. Maybe Mama, the soul, knew that life for her was very limited. She had to do things. So there was always a hurry in her to get things done, or even when it was knowledge, or even when it was yoga. I often used to find like Mama never even wasted a single second because the soul knew it had very limited time left. If you don't do it now, Baba says someone else will do it. And then you would say, yeah, I had a thought. So my first question was, when the soul already has a thought to do it, isn't it a Shreshth Sankalp? And what is wrong between a gap between thinking and doing? Don't we remember the slogan, haste is waste? Because
Yeah.
if I think something and do immediately
Yeah.
without thinking, even Dan Baba says, Dekar Dena. He speaks of
Yeah.
instant donation, but he says, look at, just don't give like that. But even then, he says, look, so there has to be a gap. I should just check that gap is not Maya. But there will be a gap, otherwise haste is going to be waste. So I just want to know what is that moment of that now which Baba is saying. So why does he say never? Maybe I will wait, think and give. Because there is a saying, think before you ink or think before you speak. So wow, this slogan, sometimes I feel we should really be, I only take two things from here. If I do anything, I just do it with Shrimat and with his hand. As long as that is there, I think the speed, destiny decides. The speed, Baba decides. That's how I like to take the Murli on a broader perspective. What's
Very
your,
nice.
what do you think
Couple
about
of
this?
thoughts. Yeah, no, very nice. Couple of I think when instant thing, it's more about developing your intuition and being more soul conscious. And I think the more soul conscious you are, the quicker we can make decisions. In the sense that way, again, I'd given the reference of that we live in Sangam Yuga, but we often the Maya that comes in is because we justify things according to, which are all correct, but they are Kal Yugi justifications. They are Kal Yugi things. So it's very easy. Or they might even not be Kal Yugi. We were referring to that, sometimes I feel like there's a more senior Brahmin giving me some sort of advice or, and we let that come in and I switch my intuition off. I give more importance to the external rather than my internal connection with Baba. So it's, the whole Sangam Yoga is me developing myself, my relationship with Baba, my relationship with myself, knowing my powers, knowing my own self. So that it needs to be you need to think before you act, yes, but not of course we'll think, but that if we let other thoughts come in, I think that's when it's not that you instantly, if you have the thought, say you need to go buy something, there's, you'll need to get in your car, you'll need to have the money. So there are steps involved, and that's perhaps where the thinking is. But the intuition should not be overpowered by my body conscious or external circumstances, which, it's a finicky thing. We can't really, finicky it's more a personal thing. You will know when your intuition is getting, and that only happens the more you meditate. The more silent you are, your own heart will tell you what needs to be done. And I will also refer to the point about the sense of urgency, which it does not happen. And you referred to Mama. Mama didn't make her refer because she knew she was going to leave at 42 or 46, however old she was. She did her effort the way she needed to, and then drama needed to use her somewhere else. So it wasn't body over matter. It wasn't matter over her mind. Her whole effort was that I am the Shakti, I am the power, I get to create. She was never dependent on time, which most of us are, we still want to know, and Baba says often, last Sunday's Murli, also Baba saying, many people want to know, Baba, kuch to batao, is it 10 years, is it 20 years? So many BK still want to know, Baba, how many more years? We are still curious, but we are not. And that the point that refers to is that we are not, whatever Baba says, our Haji part is not that great. We still have something to, oh no, but my brain needs to know, is it morning? Excuse me. So we are still dependent on external, or we want to be dependent on the external. So the moment Baba said, leave everything, Brahma Baba did not think. The moment Baba said, do this, Mama did not think, let me just do another chemotherapy. I might be able to imbibe more powers. I might be able to, which we tend to do. I need to look after my body so I can be a better BK, so I can have more time, Our thinking goes down. So it's about how much importance I give to myself, how much trust do I have in myself, how much trust do I have in Baba and Baba's teaching, versus I want to reason it out, versus I need a healthy body because I need to do this. I need to have money so I can do seva, or I reason it out. My trust, that percentage drops. That's the gap what Maya is, because I reason it out. Mama Baba did not do that. Baba had 300 children, 400 children to look after. He could have reasoned, but he could have negotiated. When his business got sold, he got like a much lower half. And he was the one who built his business, did all the work. He did not reason, because he had more trust in himself that these are the powers I need to develop. When we have a situation where tolerance needs to be applied, we tend to sometimes reason it out, but that person needs to know this is wrong now. No. Mama Baba only focused on themselves. What happens after, whether they left 40 at 42 or 90s, whatever, Baba had a much longer time. It doesn't matter. Time, it's what I'm doing right now. How many moments am I collecting? Because each journey is different. My journey to Baba's, or Baba compared either. They're number one, number two. I need to be aware. Okay, today was this Murli. Baba said, do this. How conscious was I to do that? And how many excuses did I give? Okay, but this, but that. So I need to be self-focused, have trust, and a little bit.
Okay, just two small points. I know many others have. One is you spoke about Father Brahma. See, I know Brahma. I love him a lot. He's so close to my heart. I'm not, but I would like to look at the Murli as a detached observer. Father Brahma, when he got that sakshatkar, one eye destruction, one eye this, and that you are the one, you are going to usher in the new world. See, this kind of open bank account was given, so he knew he had to deposit it, because he knew he was the one who had to become Krishna. So I always tell Brahma Baba, Baba, you had that kind of an open bank account given to you by Shiv Baba, saying, go ahead. So that's where you just jumped into the thing. Secondly, Baba also says, I know your everything. I am there, kalpa for kalpa. You know only the present. But I know all the three aspects of each child. So I told Baba, you know my aspect. You know who is the child who is going to take a cross. Why don't you just come in and take us and go, leave us? I know the answer is there. If he comes in, then where is my effort? But these are the two things which really makes me think why I am not acting immediately.
Yeah. Very good. So my voice cut out a little bit in the middle. I heard half of what you said, but referring to Brahma Baba, yeah. Sorry, I didn't catch. If was there a question in there, sister?
No. I said I was just justifying Brahma Baba with me,
Yeah,
saying Baba had a purpose. He was chosen for a
yeah,
purpose. And we are so lucky to be there. Fine. But everyone cannot become Krishna. So he was there chosen for a purpose. So he did what he had to do. He never think. He just said it's now or now. He never used the word never. He just said it's now.
yeah,
Never did
yeah,
Baba say, if I don't go now, it will be never. For Baba, it was always now, Brahma Baba.
yeah.
So I was just
And
justifying
we're
that
not really in
paragraph.
competition. Yeah. That's lovely. Yeah. And I think each one of us has to be happy with my own journey. I'm not in competition with anyone. I'm not less than because I'm not Krishna. Again, Baba had referred to Mama. Mama is not, we love Mama so much, and you refer to that as well. But she's still number two. So, but she's not in competition with Krishna. She just has to live her best life. It's the same for me. I am not less than just because I'm not Krishna or Radhe. I need to be happy with my part. I need to be satisfied with, what I've chosen, because I can only live my life. I can be inspired by others, but I can't become others. I cannot, I am not less than because I'm not Krishna. I am who I am. It's not a shortfall to not be Krishna. That's his part. I get to live whatever I want. And that's why Baba says you have to be on top of time. You have to be aware of time, because you don't lose out. This is Kalyugi thinking that, Ambani is a lot richer than I am. Some person's a lot more learned than I am. Albert Einstein had a lot more brain. This is Kalyugi thinking that somebody is better than, or, they have more than. I have to be happy with what I am. I'm a simple housewife looking after my 2 children. I've done no exciting things. I only make simple dal chawal every single day. I don't create recipes, but I have to be okay with my heart. I cannot compare. Comparison is a Kalyugi thing. I don't want to become a master chef. I don't want to. I have to be happy with what I have chosen. And I have, personally, as Brahmins have the novelty or, the luxury that we get to choose anything. And we have 5,000 years to live that. You can choose any, you can become the greatest scientist, you can become the wealthiest, you can become a king, you can become a soldier. You have 84 births to choose what we want. There's so many options, and that's I would say, a blessing Baba has given us. So I can live my heart whatever I want. I don't have to compare myself. I don't have to feel less than. I don't have to feel like I missed out, because I have so much time to live and do what I want. How can I have missed out? The only reason that will creep in, or if I'll feel that, is if I've not taken, again, the crux of this Murli, if I've not taken and what Baba's given me now, if I'm not using the most, I'm not making the best of my ability, I'm not making the best of my time. When Baba says, you've got Sahan Shakti, you've got this power, you've got the power to create. But if I'm like, oh, I missed out, somebody else has used it. Baba says you are the master Sarva Shaktivan, you are the most powerful, you are equal to God. So I have to use this time. I have to use this time to get on top of that. So then I don't have these comparison, and I don't feel like I've missed out on anything, or if there's something that I could have done, should have done. This is the only time I get to create and use my time. So I'm not behind the transformation. World transformation we started off with, it's going on. So I don't feel like my transformation is behind. It needs to be on top of it. It needs to be in front of it. And that can happen every day, every Murli. Do it. Whatever Baba has said, be sincere and follow that and do that. So I'm not behind. I'm not, world transformations already happened and I'm still kind of taking my time. No, it needs to be about the time. I need to be aware of where I am. Stop with the Kalyugi justifications and the Kalyug lifestyle. Wonderful, wonderful. But I'll get to do that, whatever, however many, 2000, 4,000 later, 3 years later, I'll get to do that. Now is the only time I'll get to live Sangam. So we'll use that. Why not use that? Anyone else?
Om Shanti, sister. Thank you for the wonderful explanation, that instant donation. So, Baba says instant donation is a great charity. So, the more we delay it, there is a chance that the Maya can creep in, and then our thought process will change, and then we might end up uh, even think of not to give something. So I think when it comes to Mama and Baba, I think when they had that opportunity, the moment they realized, the importance of donating their life. So recently, I happened to see that movie Bhagya Vidata. So there, when Baba was asking all the Kanyas, to dedicate their life for the world benefit. So it was Mama who first came forward to offer herself into the service. So that was, we
Yes.
can say, the instant donation. So that first thought, that first decision of Mama made, I suppose, Mama, right? Because she never thought, let me go back home think about it and then come back and then give my decision, share my, thought to Baba. But instantly she did that. And similarly, Brahma Baba also, when Shiv Baba entered him, right, he did not give a second thought, okay, let me think about it and then surrender all my wealth and everything. And Brahma Baba being such a rich person, such a well-known person in the society, he surrendered everything, and that is what the instant donation, which made them who they are, right? What they are, special people in their area. So people, when they hear it, right, I suppose they delayed something. For if we think of Brahmins also, sometimes when we have to donate something, sometimes we'll think, okay, I will donate 1,000 rupees. But when they start thinking about it, go back home, and then by the time they do the donation, they might even think, okay, let me reduce it to 500.
Yeah, money is such
Right.
a thing, brother.
Yeah, right. So that is where the gap comes, the instant donation and donation. So yeah, so that is all I think Maya is making that change happen. So yes. Om Shanti, thank you.
That is lovely, because I think it's more about we all know. I think it's just we like to, again, we like to give justification for things, or we like to know answers, but we all know, when I've decided something, things can happen. So external circumstances don't mean that I've moved away from what I've decided. Sometimes, in the example of 1,000 rupees, maybe an emergency has come and I need to give 500 somewhere. That's an external circumstance. So that does not mean that I have changed my mind. What I've changed my mind is when I know when a thought has come and I go, oh, but a 500 is a big amount as well. When that body conscious thought comes, that's what Maya is. And again, that's an example. So we shouldn't really get stuck in examples, because the point of our life is to develop my intuition. It's to develop self-sovereignty. If we're too dependent on asking someone questions or asking the other person their opinion, that's again training my brain, training my mind to be dependent. The whole point of this yuga is that Baba wants us to be independent. He wants us to develop self-sovereignty. You'll have people around you that you can talk to throughout the kalpa. You'll never be alone. You'll never have an alone time. You'll always have families. You'll have wonderful people around you. You'll have lovely, you might have dadis and baba and who knows what lovely people you'll have as your father, as your neighbor, as your business person, because we've done such good karmas. For 2, 3, 4,000 years, Baba's guaranteed you'll be amongst only good people. That's Baba's guarantee. So, but now is the time I need to develop my intuition, my dependency, if any, if that's something that I enjoy, should just be with Baba. It should, my life, as I said earlier, it should just be about Baba, like Meera. Can't see anything else, can't imagine anything else. Life is just what Baba said, Hanji, and that's it. And that's how we develop, and that's how we become strong, and that's how we can make the most of our beautiful Sangam Yuga, I feel. Yeah, we have to let go of this Kali Yugi thinking, because time's always moved so fast, but again, we don't want to be dependent on external circumstances, but I think we can see the external circumstances. Here in 5 Doctor Day, someone was saying we're making a bunker. So and the center, the main center in Sydney, we're making a bunker because, because there's so much war, there's so much, we don't know what all is going on. So we can even see the external time now, which, Brahma Baba and Mama, and that's how they became great. And I think that's all of us as well. You know, we didn't become a BK looking at external circumstances. Most of us, we came for the love of myself. We came for the love of knowing the truth. That's why we became BKs. So we do have a step up. So, you know, we do have that sanskar. We do have that inclination. So if we make the most of it, I think that's, you know, build on it and be more in Sangam. Always, you know, keep checking. Am I in Sangam or am I going back to Kali Yuga? Am I in Sangam or am I? Because it's so easy to slip back, you know, justify and slip back to Kali Yuga. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. What will be, you know, we don't. We are smart people. We will not do that. Just being aware. Okay.
Yeah, I think the interest of time, we can move towards meditation and close the session for today.
Wonderful. I love this Purli so much. I think I was very excited to share it, and you know, must have read it so many times. So thank you for having a lovely discussion, and hopefully we all take something back. So is it just silence now, brother? I'll mute myself.
No, sister, if you'd like to give us some short commentary, that would be really great.
Sure, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So just relax as a lovely sparkling soul shining in my forehead, remembering my real self, remembering the second dot of Baba, Shiv Baba, and the third, the dot of drama, the time that we're in. Sangam Yug, my leap year, my diamond Yug. How fortunate I am to get trained by God Himself every single day. An instruction on how to lead every single moment. And then fortunate even more because I've seen my wonderful brothers and sisters follow these directions and become complete and become number one. As are my brother and sister, Baba and Mama, so am I. What was their part? They did it wonderfully to perfection. I am also doing that. God has given me the same murli, the same direction, the same power, the same opportunity. So I will use this. I am using this. Filling colors in my part. Every single role. A wonderful soul, a Brahmin soul. Powerful being for the whole Kalpa. Because I have used this time, this Sangha. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Herman sister. Thank you, Divine Family. We shall connect again tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, you all have a beautiful day. Om Shanti.